And welcome back to the Quake Champions EU Dual Qualifier week number 3, where we've seen some really close matchups so far, especially for the last match, but we've got an even more interesting now, where the winner of this will literally qualify for Sunday's top 16.
Yeah, all to be played for, with Prox1mo versus Karwik as well, so gonna be favouring Prox1mo, only because I'm going by like recent results. I mean, he's actually knocked out some good names earlier on in some of the other qualifiers. Karwik, apparently he's lost some unique individuals, let's say. So it's going to be tough to call. I mean, I don't know their histories that well. Kazakhstan player versus a Polish player. But yeah, other than that, I'm inexperienced enough to really comment on how this matchup is going to fare. I mean, you know, just going by the previous results, I think Prox1mo will take it, but
I think you're right to say that from recent results, it's the only thing we can go by, because these are unknown names, but you know, potentially big names in the future when we actually see them play. But I think with Prox1mo, if you remember rightly, that he actually beat one big name last week, but I think he lost to Inns as well, so he didn't actually make for the top 16. But obviously Inns is probably happy about that, because he took out one big name for him. So, but yeah, it will be interesting to see how these two match up, because this will be their first time almost qualifying for the top 16. So, but the pressure will really be on them after that. Sure. So yeah, but you never know, if they make top 16 for this and then fail anyway, then when they go to week qualifier number 4, they'll feel a lot less pressured. But it looks like now Prox1mo straight in with the Knicks, and it seems like Karwik will be as well.
Yeah, both players favouring the Knicks, favouring the Ranger. We're going to see a mirror match here with the Visor as well. Visor and Scalebearer. That
was a fairly quick pick. I think something tells me that they play this composition quite a lot. But yeah, Nick's first pick, Rangers, again in the meta. Two of the like top players, champions they actually use just in general in terms of that map. So yeah, it doesn't really surprise me in the slightest. I don't think it's more about counter pick. I think it's more about their composition at the moment.
I mean, right now they're just picking things that they're very comfortable with, that they're familiar with. You know, that's why the instant picks happen. It's like you only see the pauses when, you know, people have played the first map and lost it and gone, what can I do differently here? What can I change up? What can I add to this equation, given the map and the situation that's at hand? He's hitting a lot of rails. Oh, I should maybe pick something that can survive rails a little bit longer, kind of thing. You know, go Nyx, go Clutch. You know, you've got options there. But right now, it's kind of like field test. We don't know how this is going to play out unless these two players are familiar with each other, which I'm guessing not. So it's going to be fairly up in the air right now. But you know,
I was going to say, because the main thing is as well with Prox1mo, you know, he's taken out one big name before in the previous week. So if he does qualify for this, it'll be interesting to see how he does on the Sunday. But moving on to the match now anyway, it looks like we're going to start with Karwik getting the LG straight away and then picking up the Mega to search for his opponent.
Yeah. Looks like he's going to favour going for rocket launchers instead of the rail. He has to be careful though, because he's going to take a rail to the face here. This is sort of a precarious situation to be in. Now he's going to have to teleport to the other side because he doesn't want to take a rail. It's a little bit scary. Oh wow, good read from the Knicks from going down low. Perfect read from Prox1mo. Knew exactly where his opponent was headed. Going to cut him off. Landed the damage and was just in there hunting like a wolf.
Do you know what? I think after Prox1mo being a big name last week, I think he feels a lot more comfortable in his abilities to actually play this game now. And you can see through his playing at the moment, he's trying to stop him getting the armor, but it looks like it will be up in the next second, but he does get it. And it seems like Karwik just seems to let him have it uncontested and get away, which is understandable though.
He doesn't have his invis up, and this means Prox1mo can do what he likes because he has his invis up. He can choose the fights now. He can choose where he wants to do the damage and inflict so much pain into his opponent.
Now, a Scalebearer on this map will be quite interesting. I'd like to see exactly how he's going to work with Nyx as well, because it's not a favourable matchup, but it looks like it could be over quite quickly, considering he's going to flank him and now just bait him into the fight. And it looks like he will possibly take him out, but no, just barely. He also gets the armor as well to compensate for this situation. So now we're looking at a quite a stacked Scalebearer right now.
That first opening rocket was the problem there. Nyx doing 12 damage on the first rocket when he had all the time in the world. Again, players overreact sometimes in these close range situations where they should be able to take their time out of the invis and just whack a direct rocket into the feet. But Karwik, lucky that he doesn't lose the round just quite yet. But, you know, he's still got 2 more champions to go through, and he's going to take a rail to the face. No!
What a ball. Nice. Well, if there was ever a time to do it, it was definitely then. And I was questioning about Scalebearer just in general, and I felt like the only parts of the map would have been the armor side, but it looks like he did exactly that, and it looks like he is still going to be stacked going up against Prox1mo's visor.
Indeed he is. Prox1mo is playing it safe. I think he's low LG, or was. Just below his opponent here. He doesn't want to go through that teleport with Scalebearer above. Oh, what?
I think something might be happening, but oh no, never mind. I think what happened was he was actually scoped in with Rel, but he was just walking back. But it might have looked like
he did a little mouse shake as well, like.
Oh, maybe he was actually. Oh, maybe it did lag a little bit. But anyways, carrying on from the game anyway. It looks like he just managed Rel, but he takes the risk, takes one last Rel shot, and wow, does a reverse sweep with Scalebearer.
Yeah. Impressive stuff. 1 champion left. Nyx had the opportunity to finish that round very easily with that great use of invis, but it's just the flaky rocket. And then, you know, when the mid-air came out, he didn't switch to Rel, and I think that was it. I mean, he already did a lot of damage to the Scalebearer at that time when they were both falling down, but the rockets came out better in the end for Karwik, and now he's being able to carry that momentum forward. And Prox1mo should be around up here, but he's not, and that's going to be slightly infuriating.
Well, it looks like for a Ranger is not bad stacks at the moment. He picked up the first armor and Vendor Mega instead and changed up a little bit at the start, just so that he can face a good fight with decent armor.
Oh.
And it looks like right now he's missing a few rails and lets him get away, which is a little bit uncharacteristic. But considering Karwik played so well last time, but you know, maybe he should have had his Scalebearer first instead.
Armor's coming up in a second. And there's some good positioning from the Ranger. Nyx going invis straight away. Needs to get out of there, but went lower shotgun. Heading towards LG now, and Mega's not up for another 15 seconds. So he's just going to play it slow.
At all, though. Like getting away with that ghost walk. Literally, I think it was one of those instances where he had to get away at any cost. And it potentially will get rogged here, considering Ranger's health and armor at the time anyway. But as we can see, he's going to orb and do a fake teleport, which his opponent does actually manage to get away from, which is not too bad. Trying to get the armor. Armor has been picked up though, and it looks like he is trying to rail him, but also I don't think he's going to try and charge it. No, it looks like he's going to pull back and wait for another day.
Invis been used. Has to be careful here on the teleport. We might get the good read. Okay. No, why would you teleport to that?
I don't know if he was hoping to do that just to make him think it was going to be a fake when he actually did it, or maybe it was just a complete accident. But yeah, that was quite uncharacteristic.
Unless you're timing to the exact second, that was such a risky move.
It was.
Look at Prox1mo now. He is exploiting it, and he will take this round. I'm sure of it. I'm going to bet on something. He will do it.
And this is why we actually thought Prox1mo would be the favourite to win this. Not just obviously his previous results, but it looks like from his gameplay as well. And as you can see, it looks like he's going straight forward, just trying to get the charge into the Mega Health. But obviously the health is up, and I think he just managed to get that. Yes, he does. So it looks like now he's pulling back, and he's just trying to cause a stalemate situation, make sure he's got a height advantage. And it looks like now he knows exactly where he is, but with Arman potentially going back for the health, it's going to be a different story.
Karwik's just using, trying to pick up some health. Good read there from Prox1mo in the right location. Doesn't quite land the damage. Good use of the invis just at the last moment. I think he would have avoided that charge anyway, but just to make sure. And I think he can finish this off if he plays his cards right. And it looks like he's landed a great rocket in 2. 75 HP now left on the Karwik. He knows where he's going to run to, surely. I think he was reading into the lower ground there just nicely. And it seems like we're going to have Karwik just still stuck in the Mega Room for another 6 seconds. This time he ain't going to get Mega.
No, not this time at all. And the thing is, with Prox1mo as well, his Nyx is really good. His Ghost Walk, it's really complex, and his movement with it is so, you know, it's nice to actually see someone actually be a bit more versatile with the Ghost Walk compared to actually just trying to run away from it. But it seems like now, it was a shame he could have actually got him in that instance, but it looks like he will be waiting for the armor. It will come back now. I think he does know it's up. Yes, he does. And with the Mega coming back another 10 seconds, he will try and push across because he's in a decent stack to actually be able to do it. But you've got to remember, though, he's got Scalebearer, so it may cause some issues.
I think at the moment the power-up control is just too strong really for Prox1mo to lose. He's got so much time between them. You can just find the poke shots in between those timings. And, you know, he's got time to play with. He's got a minute where he doesn't have to do anything. His opponent needs to come to him, and that's exactly what's happening. Why did you not rail?
Oh, that was a great time to ghost walk. I think he literally had no chance, even if he tried to jump out of the way. Yeah. And he knew the only thing he could do was ghost walk. But we got, remember though, Karwik has to push in because of the fact that, you know, there's 2 champions remaining which he can still use, and it's going to cause him to a sudden death. But, you know, with Prox1mo, he can just run away and play for time.
Yep, that's exactly what he's going to do. He's got 10 seconds. He wants to get his invis up. He's missing the time shards there, just kind of trying to avoid any incoming damage. He drops down low, still not picking up any shards, but he's killed off the timer. He's got his invis back up in the nick of time, and he's going to hold on to this until the very last seconds.
This is the great thing about playing against a scale player with not much time left and you having Team World Champion. It's the fact that you can have all the power-ups you want, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter when you're in this kind of situation.
Yeah, he's given up. He doesn't want to chase anymore. Karwik is just gone. No.
He's played enough Tom and Jerry, I think, for 1 round, hasn't he, that time? But, you know, we'll just have to see what happens. But it's just a shame that, you know, he did manage to turn it around as scale bearer. But the problem is, you know, what can you do when there's only so limited time?
I mean, he didn't really turn anything around. He just wasted his own time, really.
That's definitely true as well. I think it was quite hard considering Prox1mo was taking up all the power-ups as well. He wasn't really making like a play for him at all, or trying to actually contest them. So I think you're right, he was wasting too much time.
Well, right now, every time he got into a skirmish, he was hurt so bad that he couldn't commit a health stack to push one of these armors off. He wasn't getting any damage in between the rotations between these items. So, you know, it was Prox1mo's round no matter what. But you know, the start of this round, it's all changed up. Karwik now has the first frag onto Nyx. Super important, as Prox1mo looks incredibly comfortable on it. And now taking rail after rail on the Ranger too. Karwik, 1 shot away from Defi. Lovely play. Yeah, lovely rocket jump.
There is no doubt about that, because his opponent could have easily tanked another rail, and he couldn't. But sadly, he didn't get away in the full sight. But end of the day, that was a great play. I wouldn't have actually expected that at all.
I mean, Prox1mo lucky to get that frag. For a minute there, it was kind of like he was gonna get the frag guaranteed straight away at the bottom, but he misses his first opening shot, gives an opportunity to Karwik, and then suddenly he manages to pick up the frag like he should have done. But I was quite interesting off that spawn that we didn't see a more aggressive Karwik on his Nyx. Could have easily picked up a frag, but I guess he just wanted to play it safe and pick up the armors and, you know, respect his opponent.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, when you disrespect your opponent in some ways, it's not really the kind of thing you want to do, because, don't get me wrong, it gives you a lot of false hope at the fact that, you know, you can play with no fear and, like, try and actually destroy him. But, you know, that could be a bad thing as well, depending on the situation, who you're playing against. But I don't think Prox1mo has played Karwik before, or maybe not know much about him. So, you know, respecting is definitely the right move. But right now, at the moment, it looks like he's Ghost Wall's behind him, I think. And literally, he will try and chase him down. He drops down, and it looks like Karwik does have the height advantage, but he drops down after him, goes up the lift, and tries to finish him off. But, literally just managed to get away from the skin of his teeth.
Easy rail miss there from Karwik. He's going to be kicking himself on that jump pad. It was pretty much game over for Prox1mo. Oh no, he's going to survive this, and he's going to be able to get Mega at least. So a bit lucky here. Lands himself a rail. Can he find? He won't reload in time. But he's going to try and deny this armor. It's not going to happen, but he might get a pick here of damage. Risks, drops down towards the low armor, but no. Karwik actually fakes it out. Goes up high, takes a rail, and I think he popped his invis to the side there.
Yeah, and it looks like now with Prox1mo, he's just waiting for the next Mega, come up in the next second, and I think he knows that his opponent will be going for the armor, so hopefully he may even potentially go and try and rail him, but it looks like he will be waiting back.
Karwik doesn't have the stack to go for the armor. He feels a little bit stuck back, and the timing was off, so obviously Prox1mo could, you know, take the Mega, take the armor, feel really comfortable, and now he's just looking for an opportunity to drop down. He finds and stellar time, but the invis is up and he's going to drop down. Nice rail from Karwik.
Oh, that was
really patient, really good tracking on his opponent, knowing exactly where he's waiting, killing time.
It's funny in this kind of a situation though, because I know a lot of players will hold to rockets, so they've got the choice of actually going for the Mega or Armor straight off the bat. And a little bit landed, but I think it's okay now. But you know, this is the Scale Bearer situation now. We spoke about this before. He did a reverse sweep with Scale Bearer last time, and last round sadly just managed to push out. But it looks like his ping doesn't seem to be too great at the moment for Karwik, but it could potentially go to our first sudden death of the day.
Yeah. I don't know what server they're actually playing on or where it's located, but yeah, it could be issues for Karwik here in terms of his lag issues, or it could just be his connection, you know.
You're making excuses for him already.
I mean, we're having a look at the pings here. 42, I didn't quite catch the other one, but
no,
62, so it's quite a difference. Unless
his connection's just spiking at random moments, but you know, these things happen. But by the look of things, it's not seems to be phasing him at all whatsoever. Because me personally, when I get in a bit of connection issues, literally will phase my mentality a little bit. But you know, he knows in this kind of match, he literally can't, he doesn't have time to even cry about it. So he can cry about it afterwards once he qualifies for the top 60. But it looks like he will try and push for the fight, and he was quite stacked. But it looks like now Prox1mo was so weak, literally barely 10 HP. But now we've got Karwik with the armor, but it looks like he lost that straight away. So it looks like we'll be playing the hunting game again.
Fires are popping up his ult. Lands are great. Oh, I thought it was going to be a bit more damage than that, but lands a bit of splash, knocks Scale Bearer onto the Mega.
5-minute warning.
And now a clap now, because finally the first sudden death of the day of so many matches. I'm quite surprised, to be fair.
I think we're going to be seeing a lot more. Wow, lovely charge. Absolutely stellar from Karwik there. Perfectly timed, waiting for the opportunity, and 150 damage.
It's funny, because with previous weeks, obviously so many sudden deaths, and then the first sudden death we see of the day, it lasts 10 seconds.
Yeah. Karwik doesn't want it to drag on, and rightfully so. And now he is map point here on
well, with them being Polish and from Kazakhstan, I think Kazakhstan's about 3 hours in front, and Poland have been about approximately 2. So it's very late where they are at the moment. So you know, I don't blame him wanting to try and you know, finish things up. But then again, they could be quite fatigued from all these matches. Yep. But looking at right now, it seems like Karwik's in a good position at the moment. Knows exactly where his opponent is, and may potentially wait for him to go up the lift. But looks like Prox1mo knows exactly not to do that, and just to let his opponent actually make the first move.
Yeah, I'm surprised that he didn't try and go for the rail. He had enough health and armor for a cheeky stab at it, but decides not to. Karwik and Prox1mo, I think, was that a rocket jump up to the railgun? He's going to have to be careful here. Oh, Karwik, actually I think he's clocked on that his opponent's near him. Here's the rocket launcher lift. Or jump pad, sorry, and then invis attack. It's going to be good. Anything to follow up. Nice dire roll coming up behind Prox1mo. Good recovery.
And if there was time to get away, it was definitely them. But yeah, great all play by Karwik just then. He knew exactly what was going to happen, so literally turned back, tried to finish Nyx off, but it was good Prox1mo with the ghost walk by Nyx. But right now he's still trying to look for the opponent. Not really a good advantage in terms of height, but he probably will go for the telly, which he will do. Ow. And it could be a rail off. But you know, they're playing very scarce now. They know that this could potentially be the last round for Karwik. So Karwik's been, you know, very sly, being a little bit more defensive, which I don't blame him just in general because of the fact of the situation he's in. But he's trying to stop him from getting the armor, but it looks like he's going to ghost walk away. Oh, well played by him.
He had an opportunity for a frag there, or at least some extra damage there, but I think Prox1mo actually did manage to get the armor, which he did, which is good. Got the ghost walk off just in time, able to escape, didn't take any unnecessary damage. But now he does. 90 damage rail with the zoom rail.
And I think he did assume he was on a little bit less health than he thought, but to be fair, he's only on about 30 HP, but he's got an all back, so already he still knows he's quite weak, but he's still trying to find a way to actually push him. But I think right now he's going to go straight for the armor, but I don't think he's too fussed if he dies here, because at least he knows he's actually burnt the armor.
Good rail coming in from Karwik. Just as his opponent was trying to run away to the shotgun. Has to be careful here, Prox1mo. His ranger didn't get a great spawn, almost ran into Karwik, and he actually was so patient, played it right, just walked around by the LG, wait for his opponent to pass around, let him get the Mega. He couldn't, there's nothing to contest with at the moment, and he's still pretty badly hurt. He's just waiting down low. Again, finds a good situation out of that really bad one. Oh, good instant pop rail. Didn't expect it.
But it looks like Karwik was in a really good situation, but yeah, because of that pop rocket just then, if he takes one more rail, he can die here, but it looks like he will just manage to recover. But he knows Mega's coming up, so he's going straight for it. And it looks like right now he's trying to find a way to actually get back on top and try and find a way to actually get round his opponent.
He's done a fantastic job there, Prox1mo. 2 really nice rails, putting him back in, and another one there. Great stuff. And now, possibly an opportunity for a frag, and he's going in. Good dial. No, it wasn't good. In fact, but the rocket positioning was better from Karwik as he went through the teleporter, evening out the stacks, 50-50, 25, and now the armor is coming up in 10 seconds, way too early for Karwik. He has to be careful here. If he's mispositioned at all, was that a crazy dire orb?
I think it might have been, but I wasn't too sure because earlier I just couldn't contemplate how like you didn't win that fight with the Vox when he went for the teleport. But you know, these things happen, and it looks like now we're back to a rail fight, but he knows exactly to back off on that rocket. And right now he's just staying underground, staying low, trying to find an opportunity. Just tried to orb up, but
oh no,
he tried to orb him, but he tried to rocket jump up, and he just manages to get away. And he knows that he's up top, and Mega's up as well. So now that he's got that, I'm not sure if he's got enough health and armor to actually go for the armor.
Prox1mo had a chance for an easy frag there. Surprises his opponent down by the low armor. Right, so what happens is that Karwik panicked, used his dire orb, teleported to it too soon, fell back down into the same position that he was already in, but Prox1mo thought he got up and followed him with a rocket jump.
Yeah, I think they were both a little bit confused with like what the situation's going on, but yeah, Karwik, yeah, I don't think he wasn't too sure either, as you just explained, but you know, he can't take another rail, he needs to get away, at least get an orb, but I feel like the lag may have actually held him back from getting that last orb, because he could take a rail shot. But yeah, sadly, but he's got 25 HP now. If he can manage to find him, he could possibly pick him off, but I don't think he's going to have the time now. Now he's back stacked up.
Interesting. Picks out the scale bearer for the sudden death. Needs the right moment to attack. He does have the mega health. Don't think he has a railgun yet. He's just waiting low armor at the moment. He knows it's soon. He knows Mega's up at the same time as the armor. But, oh, we've got a good read! Big damage!
And it looks like from the railgun. Trying to get that armor, I think, because, oh no, he has picked up. Mega's still up at the moment, and it seems like he will go for it next. And that is exactly what he will do, is just have a look around, make sure his opponent isn't trying to pressure him, since he has got the armor after all. And obviously, considering his scale bearer, he could easily charge for it. But, you know, he's been aware, he's been careful, he's just making sure, you know, he's not making any of the littlest errors, just trying to find out exactly where his opponent is. Sadly, he is looking the wrong way, but at the moment, armor's coming next 3 seconds anyway, so he's doing a good play, just making sure he keeps tabs on the power-ups. Yeah,
but now he's got time. He knows that the Megas are spaced out a little bit here. He could push into this if he really wanted to. I think he's giving his opponent a little bit too much respect, but he's going to get the Mega. If he takes, oh my, he should be not missing these rails. At least put a rocket there and then switch to the rail. Oh no, now he has to back off, and now he's completely lost control. Armor's up in 7 seconds. He can't afford to fight this. If he does, he is a very brave man. He's going to go for it. I thought he was going to dire orb for it. Oh, his rail is so flaky right now. The nerves Prox1mo is going through.
I think the problem is the fact that with the scale bearer as well, I think it's right that if he did orb, he'll get like, you know, it might came into contact with the actual bulldoze. But it seems like the fact that, like, you know, he might have made the right decision, maybe not orbing going for it. Maybe he did it much earlier on, he could have actually got away with it and potentially got a kill. But, you know, they're both still only a champion down, both still making their littlest errors, just trying to make sure they can get any sort of thing, but it looks like the 10 HP, 50 HP, still in contact with rail. He still can't take a rail shot, but needs to pick up a little bit more, but he needs to be careful with the situation
he's got to get out of this situation. Oh, beautiful rocket jump.
That was fantastic. There was no way he could have gone for that armor, because either way, if he'd gone for it, he still wouldn't have been able to tank a rail.
He should have gone Mega. He had the opportunity. There's no way that scale bearer could catch up, and now he's going to get fully stacked. And now the poke game has to come out strong, even stronger for Prox1mo. He needs another sort of lag miracle. I mean,
I think he definitely does. I think a little bit of that, you know, ping spike of 999 might help him a little bit. And funny enough, that's what actually cost him that one champion, which is a shame as well. So, you know, I don't know who your provider is in Kazakhstan, but, you know, I'll definitely have a word if they cost you this matchup.
I think it's the Polish player. Prox1mo is the Kazakhstan player, so he's not having the issues with the lag that Karwik is. Maybe it's just the server location.
Yeah, it could actually be server location, don't get me wrong, but you know, with spikes like that, I'd assume it's definitely his own connection, because I've never seen quite anything like that, because we would see Prox1mo being in the same situation, which is quite understandable. But at the moment now, still a minute 30 left. Both players do know that they can take their time. There's no rush. They've still got 2 champions left, knowing that it could go to another sudden death. But at the moment, they're just trying to feel each other out, trying to know exactly where each other are, which they do. But nice rocket by Prox1mo just then. But it looks like Karwik will be backing off, and looks like it's just going to be another stalemate again.
Yeah, nobody really wanted to commit. The stakes are too high right now, especially for Prox1mo. But he's got an angle here for Rails. You're not going to see the chase through the teleporter. Karwik just going to go around the safe way. Go lower, pick up some armor. He's going to try and fight this. The charge could actually be potentially bad for him.
Oh, I think he was assuming that like he was probably going to try and rail him and hopefully miss, but
no,
with a target like Scale Bearer, there's no way you're going to miss from that. And he looks like he makes the right move. Prox1mo now heads back.
Rocket
Mega's
jump
coming up in 1 second.
He needs to be careful. No, he's not going to go for the Mega. He can't afford to.
Yeah, that's the right play. So obviously if he went up, he would have just got railed instantly. So no, you were definitely right about that.
Oh no. What are you doing? Don't get mad. Don't get tilted, Prox1mo.
I thought you was getting tilted then with his play.
I was getting mad because he was making some simple mistakes.
I think you would do, especially in this position. Like, both these players really want to make an impact in the Quake World Championships. And considering the situation they're in at the moment, they know this is the final match. They know this is the match where they want to go through. And considering both players are a little bit unknown to the scene, they want to make this, you know, impression at the moment. But looks like they both dropped down, both rocking each other, but still both on a very similar stack. And it looks like
oh, the mistake has been made. Karwik shouldn't have sort of jumped across the Mega. He should have just backed off to sort of claim the armor, and now that's going to cost him. Mega's now going, unless he has his charge up. I don't think he does.
And for the first time in a while, Prox1mo.
Oh no, he missed the armor.
Get the armor, but I think
he
missed it again.
Nerves. Try to walk over it. Failed miserably, and now Mega is now in favor of Karwik. If he loses this because of that one moment, he will be kicking himself.
But to be fair, his opponent did lag spike, so he probably deserved it, to be fair. But it's come to a situation now where, you know, Karwik's seen him miss the armor twice, and he damn well knows that he's missed it twice, and he knows that nerves are against him. So Karwik's probably thinking, right, now this is my chance to take a, you know, to contest all the other powers.
Oh, get running.
Oh, but it looks like he just manages to get away again. I'm not sure if these two are, you know, trying to pressure each other too much but not capitalising, or just trying to hold back too much and not capitalise on the situation.
Right now, Prox1mo is, well, he's not going to be wetting himself now after that rail, but those last chases, now he should be. He landed that rail as he fell? What?
This
insane.
Final kill is becoming really, really close right now.
6 minutes of overtime and
numerous encounters now, and it's like they want us to stay until 2 AM, I think.
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that as well. So you two just play ahead, so that was already too much. But it looks like right now Karwik is still on high health at the moment and is still slightly sacked, but he realises that he will be going for the armour and he will be backing off. So I don't blame him right now if he does possibly let him get the next Mega. But I think he's not too sure where he's at the moment. He does realise now he actually is underneath and he will go for the Mega. So at least he managed to get something away from him, but he actually makes him rocket jump upwards and seems like he will just barely get away. And a nice direct hit. And Prox1mo may just barely get away. Well, both of them really,
Panic stations.
Yeah, panic stations
really careful
is
here.
Definitely an understatement here right now.
And this is game potentially for Karwik. And Mega's not up for another 8 seconds. I don't think Prox1mo should be anywhere near this next Mega if he knows what's best for him. But he's going to try and go for the poke. No, he manages. Okay, he manages to get it. So the Scale Bearer went around a long route. Maybe he failed a rocket jump.
Yeah, that was a big mistake by Karwik, I think. Would you reckon? He said he was quite stacked.
There were 10 seconds difference between the pickups, but came out on top. I mean, good rockets here, switching it up. The rail's just leaving them behind now, but there's another one. He wants to finish this off. Oh, come on, shoot! Why are you not shooting? What's going on? Oh, he's out of rails. Out of rails when zoomed in.
If it was ever a time
shooting, and I bet he was panicking and just firing and firing and firing, and just couldn't get anything off.
Oh, the worst bit was he looked like he was AFK crouching because he faked the orb perfectly.
Yeah, he did.
And you could see that he could easily get 1 or 2 rail shots, and that would have been the end. But it looks like this overtime is going to carry on for the next couple of minutes until the situation reoccurs.
Prox1mo's hanging on with dear life. Good rail from Karwik. Goes through the teleporter, does the double fake. Prox1mo drops down low.
Don't do it.
Don't. Oh, luckily he's looking the wrong way. The charge though.
Oh,
Nice
fantastic rocket jump by Prox1mo just then. And it seems like now Prox1mo is trying to stop him from getting the X armor. He can survive a rail. He's perfectly fine. And Karwik is, well, obviously knows he can as well. He can take another 2.
Coming in behind. I heard a rocket jump. Oh no, he went over by the railgun.
Oh, this is unbelievable. I think this one map has taken longer than one of the first matches in the first round. It's unbelievable at the moment. I think one of the first matches was 34 seconds, wasn't it?
This will be the 14th minute we're in now. Why? Oh, okay, that was a risky move. Oh, nice. I'm liking that teleporter confusion.
Yep, that confused me.
So he went in through the teleporter, dropped his tire orb, went back through the teleporter, then dire orbed. That did a 180. That was a really clever move. I like that a lot.
Do you reckon these two are just purposely causing it to a massive sudden death situation?
No, I don't think purposely any of them are. They want to win, and they're making sure that they can do so. But this could possibly be it. Oh, unfortunately, Scalebow.
You get some of those team games, etc., where like there's a stalemate and no one wants to like give each other that opportunity, and it only seems happen to be that one time.
Surely this is the fight. The LG is going to finish it. He's on 5 HP.
Come on.
This is it. Bam. Done.
9 minutes
Prox1mo.
and 50 seconds of sudden death just to keep away these two. But the funny thing is, it's still the first map. We've still got a fifth one to go. Fifth round, sorry, apologies. And yeah, it's going to be...
That was like a final.
That did feel like a final, to be fair. But to be fair, it's great to see how much they want.
I've lost all track of if we're on the first map, second or third map right now, because that went on so long.
I'm feeling exactly the same right now. I actually started to think it took so long. I thought that was the final round of the first map, and assuming, but it's going to crack on. But anyway, 5th round, best of 5, as you all know anyway, to take this first map in the series. Still level pegging at the moment, and we're still just waiting to see exactly what's going to happen. But it's great to see how much these two wanted. They want this more than anything, especially Prox1mo, considering the situation he was in last week, who desperately wanted it. But right now, it's just trying to get a few rail shots here and there, but managed to back off. And looks like he's going to get the armor, which is going to come up in the next second. Same with the Mega.
Yep, both coming up at the same time, both even stacks. They're going to try and do the poke game, see who can then find who can control both items. But it's never quite that easy. Both good players positioning themselves well for each item. For each item that they lose, they take the other. But some interesting maneuvers coming in from Prox1mo. Has a good track on. He's got the opening bit of damage.
Do you know what? These two would be horrendous on like Sarnath or something. Because the sudden death will probably end up being like 12-13 minutes instead. But it's definitely one of the longest overtimes I've seen so far. But at the moment, he is trying to potentially stop him from... Well, actually, the arm's not for another 20 seconds. And he's having a look around, just having a little poke around, a few rockets here and there, just to try and feel out for his opponent, just to see if he can find out where he is. But in the time being, the Mega and armor's coming up for the next 5 to 10 seconds. And it looks like Prox1mo will be waiting for the next Mega.
Good clip there on the rail. Can he find another? One shot away from death here for the next. Going to drop down low, pick up the small armors. Has to be careful when he goes through this teleporter though. Karwik not quick enough to react to it.
No, it's going to be a situation now where they will be railing off, but the problem is the Mega's coming in the next 5 seconds, but I'll be interested to see who goes for it first. But I think Prox1mo knows just to wait, stand his ground, and see if he also goes for the Mega as well. So we're going to see now if Karwik actually does make any pressure at all towards the armor. But I think Prox1mo is quite surprised. Oh, but he does come round eventually and tries to orb for it, but
he's out.
Good job by Prox1mo to actually ghost walk out of there, and also great patience and discipline, considering if he did go for that armor, he probably would have lost the Nix.
Yeah, he doesn't want to risk it, but his opponent's clocked onto his movement. He tried to double back a little bit too soon, and this could be potentially dangerous now. And You know, Karwik has full control, providing that he positions himself in the right area of the map so he can fall back onto the Mega. Not going to use that Dire Orb. Has wasted it. 14 seconds until the Invis is back up. Again, Prox1mo can't risk going for this Mega, but he's going to try and land some damage as it's picked up, and this could be bad. I mean, he almost just killed himself with that rocket.
After today, I do not want to see this map again.
Oh, just in the nick of time, the armor's up. Who's going to win the LG battle?
No one, because he's going to run.
No, it's going to be.
He could catch him off guard, and he does. Prox1mo with a nice rocket kill, and now the pressure's on Karwik with only 1 minute and 38 remaining.
Nick's great opportunity with that Invis there. You know, had a good LG battle, came out on top, used the Invis, and made sure that he would claim the win.
But he's got his scale barrel now, so he's still got a little bit of time to grab the power-ups necessary to make the chase, but it seems like now he has the Mega, but the armor is already up and still up. But it looks like Prox1mo will attempt to get it, but he's stuck in a really awkward situation where if he gets railed, he could easily get done for. But luckily, he didn't use his Ghost Walk and just took the risk to actually get out of it, so fair play.
Has to be careful up top here. Good rockets, though! Superb rockets from Prox1mo. Great knock-up, great follow-up. And now Mega's his for the taking for free. Nix is going to try and take it. Oh, dangerous maneuver. But that has claimed him the armor.
I was going to say, sorry, Prox1mo knows, but Karwik is getting desperate now, and there was only 2 champions behind, which is probably why he made such a foolish play. But it looks like now there's only 1 champion down, so can easily come back with 30 seconds left.
Indeed he can, 30 seconds. I don't think Prox1mo is going to let that happen. He's going to try and slow down the game as much as possible. But Karwik is on the hunt with the Nix. And, you know, if there's a good positional fight that Visor can take.
12 seconds left.
Oh.
Ghost Walk just to hopefully try and find him, but
yeah,
he's looking on a completely the wrong side. There's only 6 seconds left.
He's in the LG corridor. He's just staying there. I think he's going to clock on any second now as well. This is it. Oh, he's just headed over that way.
What a way to win that final round. 3-2, sudden death. I think that map alone took about half an hour, I think.
What year is it again?
I don't know, but I think it's 2030 or something like that.
That game went on and on and on. I mean, they're really, really close.
Dear.
Both players not wanting to commit. So many times that one of them would have a massive advantage, but just absolutely nerves would get the better of them, and they would flake out at the last second. The amount of Dire Orbs Prox1mo wasted or used incorrectly that should have been punished so hard. It's mind-boggling that that went on for so long.
Yeah, I think it's definitely the pressure, like you said. There was times they could have capitalised, but I think in some instances I felt like they couldn't. But in ones they could, it just seemed weird how, you know, in some of those instances they could have actually jumped in on the occasion. But yeah, it's like I said, with pressure, sometimes you want to be absolutely certain you can kill him rather than just like a 50-50. Well, even like a 70-30. Like I think with for them in a 70-30 situation, I think you'll find that even if it was 80-20, they still didn't want to. They wanted to wait until they're absolutely dead certain, which is why in that final round as well, they had 3 champions for almost the whole time until the 3-minute mark.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's kind of the math game with any sort of arena FPS game, is that you want the percentages in your favor, and you know, when you're at the 70-30, you kind of think, okay, well, you know, I've got the armor stack, I've got the health, I can push, I'm going to take damage on this corner. You kind of always expect that you'll be taking the maximum damage. That's what I do anyway. I always expect that if I push aggressively, I'm taking 100 damage, but then providing that I land my rocket, my bit of damage here, I should still win the fight, and that's how that armor stack should be working. It should be your entry point in, and then you should be able to close off with better aim in the end. But it doesn't always go that way. A good rocket, a good knock-up can mess that up. Good positioning from the other player. He may have lesser armor and lesser stat, but the positioning is far superior. In fact, I'd value positioning over an armor stack any day. Oh,
definitely. And it's just a few instances as well. I just felt so sorry for him. I'm still laughing even now when he actually fired the orb to bait him actually to look in that direction for the Mega.
Yeah, it was so...
And literally, it was so sad. It was so sad just to see him look and go, I've got no rail left.
Yeah, the fact is he was firing, and I know he was firing, but the thing was, it must be some form of issue that it doesn't do the click animation that you'd switch automatically to another weapon when you're zoomed in. So he was just there, just going, why am I not firing? Come on!
Oh, and the best bit was he was crouching. He looked like he was AFK just doing that the whole time, and I was just like,
for a minute
no, don't do this, please.
For a minute there, I genuinely thought he was lagging again, but it wasn't.
I thought the same. I thought to myself, your connection is spiked. You're in a really bad situation. You're going to get railed. Oh no, wait, yeah, you got it. So
yeah. But it still didn't end badly for him at that point, anyway. But
yeah, it wasn't too bad. Like, it's one of those situations where, like, you know, these things happen. Like, I've seen it plenty of times, even with some of the higher skill, higher tier players, where they do forget that, like, you know, they've lost, well, not lost, but they've run out of ammo for rockets, rail, etc. So, you know, it's not like just a mid-tier skill or tier, you could say, mistake. It's a high tier ones where I've seen little bits here and there when the pressure's on, especially in the tournament situation.
Oh, the pressure was definitely on in that game, and that's why it went on for so long. Both players not wanting to commit. And even now, it seems that the map choice is taking time. I mean, well, to be honest, after that, what would I be doing right now if I just played a game like that? I'd be in the toilet, and I would definitely be dropping a rather large
cognac.
Yeah, essentially. Like,
I'll be definitely having a few.
The bowels are going to be definitely
honestly
loosened after that. Let's be honest.
But imagine losing a 1v1 game, which took half an hour and it was map 1. I probably wouldn't have a desk, I'm not going to lie. I probably would slam through my desk. It's the sort of person I am, so
man,
like, I've got a strong mentality, but when you've got like 30 minutes of just one map, you know, that's going to annoy you, isn't it, a little bit?
I mean, it is, but maybe not for Prox1mo because he won it, but yeah.
Karwik, definitely.
Yeah, Karwik is, yeah, he's going to be slightly annoyed. He's going to be wanting to take his time, cool down. I mean, it's intense playing a 1v1 game like this.
It is.
It's constant. You're constantly thinking about every contingency, every option that is available on the map. It's non-stop action, and that's why Quake is so good.
Well, this is it. It's like all the 1v1 tournaments I've been on in the past, it's like I always think to myself, if I lose, it's no one else's fault, it's just my fault, no one else's. And that's the hardest thing to take. And that's why when you actually play Duel, you need to have a strong mentality, because of the fact that if you just lose one map and go, oh, no, it's done, then there's no point even playing it. Because I think with Quake, UT, Painkiller, etc., you need a strong mentality. I think it's the most vital FPS to actually have a strong mentality on.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, having the will to keep playing after, you know, playing a game like that and being absolutely so close to winning and then having it taken away, it's disheartening. But, you know, you've got to look at every situation, learn something from it, and move forward. And the players that can do that will go far, and they will, you know.
Absolutely. And Sarnoff being picked, and it looks like the matchups will be very similar to what it was before, but I think I see another skill bearer instead of one of the last picks. So yeah, it's going to be quite interesting to see. And I'm not sure if I did see a slash, but I don't think I did see
didn't quite catch it, in fact, but my
neither did I, so
pretty dark.
You know, that makes both of us anyway, so it's, I don't feel
We're
going to
find out pretty soon, though. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the rail game happens here. I think it's going to be a little bit quicker. I think the choke points are a little bit easier to manipulate in this, and sort of more open areas. So when you're stuck on the weaker side of the map, you're pretty hard cornered in there. But both players on Blood Covenant couldn't really lock down their player in a position that, you know, one of the main positions which is nice to lock down is kind of where the armor is placed. You know, if your opponent takes it and you land some damage in that time and knock them to that backfield, it is a nightmare to get out of that. And every time there was an encounter there, it was kind of like, I've hit you with a rocket. Yeah, it did 12 damage. It knocked you in the air, and then it's take a pot shot rail, miss it, and then decide, I'm going to Mega now. I've had enough.
I don't blame him. But for what I've just been told as well, both players have actually made the exact same picks. So it's going to be the exact same matchups. But instead, it's going to be Karwik with Ranger, and it's going to be, they'll go for Nick. So straight off the bat, he gets off the Mega, and it looks like at the moment, I'm not too sure where he's playing at the moment, but I think he seems to be hiding underneath, just making sure that he can actually sit back and get away. But it looks like he just manages to.
So, big play coming in from Prox1mo with that LG going aggressive, and actually picks up the first frag onto that Ranger. Now it's going to be wanting to lock out some big damage. Oh, good rail. Good rail actually from the scale bearer. That's a difficult shot. And read into it beautifully, but then, you know,
it's not one to take lightly, is it? Especially in that position. It's a very hard rail to pull off. But at the moment, with Prox1mo, for example, they're basically just trying to trying to, like, you know, pick a rail here and there, which is good, especially against a scale bear at the moment. But right now he's doing a really good job, but he needs to be careful with his health at the moment. It can easily dive from the next rail, but it looks like he's going to risk it and try and get this next mega. But I think he's confident knowing that Karwik is going to go for that next armor.
All right. Is he going to go up the big lift? He is. That's going to be painful, but the exchange of the rails, good read there from Karwik as well, reading that he was going to take damage there. And, you know, he's in a favourable position now. He has the armor stack, and there it is.
I think he was on 75 HP as well, wasn't he? Which is a shame. If only he had some armor shards or anything just to keep him alive.
That's why he was going for that armor. He knew he needed it for the rail, but he kind of underestimated his opponent's position, and it's going to be costly for him. But he's going out scale bearer now, Prox1mo. But takes a rail there, Karwik. He's in a bad position as well to get out of. He's going to try and charge his way through. He lags as well.
Nice, juicy spiking connection by Karwik. But, you know, every little helps, so it managed to help him get away anyway. But it looks like Karwik is on the back foot still. He hasn't got any armor, but, you know, he is hoping that the next one will come in place. But nice direct rocket straight off the bat, but he's going to take the risk and try and stop it. But instead gets bulldozed instantly, and now Prox1mo has the armor, so it looks like it's going to be a little bit nicely stacked, you could say, for now.
Definitely so. Karwik down to his last. Oh, big rail. Invis used early as well. He gets the read. Can he land the final bit of damage? He will.
It feels like now Karwik's feeling a little bit more comfortable in the situation he's in, especially on this map. I think it was his pick, if I remember rightly.
I mean, Karwik is asking for HP there. I mean, many. It was many.
I would have just said 300 or something, just to like
80 maybe? I think it was even more than 80.
Round 2.
No,
it was a questionable decision. That's for sure.
But now, straight away, goes straight for the rail and is now going to have a look around and see exactly where he is. And armor still hasn't been picked up yet, which is fantastic play by Prox1mo. So now, when he next goes for it, we'll be up at 45, and he's going to assume it comes up at 35.
Both players trying to get the poke damage towards the rail, but instead gets out on the teleport. This is great now for Prox1mo. 2 rails landed, he's got an invis, and now this is going to be a frag. This is too easy. Locking it down very nicely here. Let's see if he can keep this momentum going.
Yeah, because it looks like Karwik has already lost his momentum, and Prox1mo, like, literally really showing what he wants to do on this map so far.
Yep.
And at the moment, he's just having a look around, just trying to have a little scarce look, trying to get information, just trying to find out his opponent. I think he might know he's underneath, but like due to some noise.
He knows he's on the weaker side of the maps. He knows he's trying to pick up some lighter armor. That's his only options right now, with the mega and the big armor just not up yet. And that's some great rail there. Gotta be careful. Reads the situation beautifully. This is Prox1mo's time, and that is beautiful. Oh. The rocket of dreams when you get the 100 damage knock up, following it up with another. And now Prox1mo only needs to kill one more of Karwik's champions, and it'll be 2-0 up. And ooh, just walks past him.
This seems like it could have come from a longest match of the day to now the shortest match, shortest game of the day. So it's quite surprising, really, considering how long the first match was. And now going into it, they seem to be like not close at all. But it seems like right now, even with Karwik's pick, it seems like Prox1mo seems to be dominating quite hard. But fantastic Ghost Walker moment. It may potentially
perfect.
I was going to say
timing.
Baiting that armor so perfectly, and then just picking him off of the rocks. That's fantastic play by Prox1mo.
Yep, flawless. Looking to clean this up very quickly.
I think he's feeling very salty compared to last week when he could have actually made top 16, but it really shows how much Prox1mo wants this now. And now straight for the mega, straight for the rocks. Couldn't be in a better situation right now. And now he's going to hopefully predict where Karwik is going to go next.
Finds himself a rail free of charge, which is kind of lucky. A lot of the time that, you know, at the start of this match, I like to wait for and set up traps on that railgun. Often people, you know, they take mega and then want to drop down to rail immediately. They've got rockets and they want the rail on top of it. And it's usually a free shot. Against better players, they know this move is very likely though, and I'm not able to get away with it, to be honest. But,
that's perfectly understandable though. And it looks like now with very similar stats, range of a bit more health at the moment. Both playing the sound hall in game at the moment, where they're both just trying to see what's going on. I think it's more Prox1mo at the moment because he's not convinced exactly where he is, but he knows where he is now. But he's not really in a good spot. He needs to get up quick before his opponent finds out, but he's got not much height advantage. And he just managed to, but it looks like we're going to have a little bit of a rail off, do some predictive rockets just to try and scout the situation, and fantastic all play to get the Mega by Karwik.
Yeah, it was kind of his only option. He could have run out, but he would have been taking some big damage with the rockets. So, you know, quick thinking, use the orb, get it out. You know, he has the health stack here, Karwik, right now.
Oh,
but the rails are good.
Yeah, his rails have been really consistent in this game, and like the previous game as well, but some of the times it was a little bit inconsistent in terms of like how he'd missed quite a lot, and there's sometimes where it's like it's been really on point. Ooh. Fantastic goes well, you couldn't have asked for a better time, but the question is he going to look around the corner? I don't think he is, and Prox1mo manages to get away with the Mega, so fair play to him. That was a very high risk manoeuvre to make.
It was his only manoeuvre to make at that particular point. He'd taken so much damage in that fight. He was lucky to have his ability up, and you know what was good about it is that you know he didn't sort of run off scurrying away trying to pick up health and straight away. He just held his ground on the top area, knew the Mega was up, and waited for the right opportunity to pick up the health bubble, pick up the Mega health. He knew that his opponent would be in the state of fear that he is. 2 rounds below, and has a lot of work to catch up to. We're going to see an invis here, just in the nick of time.
His Ghost Walks have been absolutely spot on so far. I think the last time he was on, what was it, 18 HP, and now he was on 3 HP that time. So
I should have said nicks of time, but no, that would have been clever. But,
I think, do you know what it is? It's all those bus driver puns we made earlier. I think it's got to a point now I've run out of analogies and puns for one evening. But speaking of nicks anyway, he's still looking at the moment to see if we can scout where he is. Both still in their first champion mines with 2 minutes and 10 left to go, and the armor coming up in the next 2 seconds.
Indeed, it's going to be a nice pickup for Karwik. Prox1mo looking for that entry frag. He's waiting for the opportunity. He hears his opponent above him. He's making the stealth moves with the footsteps. And Mega's up in 8 seconds. He's not in a great position right now. I don't know how he's going to approach this problem. Is he just going to let this go? Because this could be risky for him in the long run.
He's got 2 instances here. He can either like try and stop him getting the Mega, but
he's going to try and bait the trap here.
Yeah, I can see exactly. Yeah, it's a shame really, because he kind of wanted the armor, but as soon as he saw him pick up the Mega, I think he knew that his opponent also knew that it was going to go straight for the armor, which is a shame. But at least he knew what the situation was going to happen, so he didn't have to avoid any deaths.
He has to be super careful here. He needs to use his invis, I think. Now, yes, oh, there we go. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. He's toast. Surely.
Oh no, he just managed to get away again. His Ghost Walks have been impeccable. Not only is he using them to get away from the skin of his teeth, but literally he's getting away and using like complex Ghost Walks just managed to get away from him. So fair play. And it looks like another sudden death.
It's a real shame there for Karwik. That was a frag for him, for sure. Time is running out, and you know it's going to be overtime. Are we going to see another 10 minutes?
I'm going to assume we will, but if we do, please make sure you win, Prox1mo. By all means, like, you know. But at the moment, he is quite weak. He's still in rating.
I thought you said you wanted to stay up until 2 AM.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay, ignore me. I do want to say. So, yeah, go on. Do it as long as you like anyway. But it looks like Anderson says he just barely gets that rail off, but he finally gets railed. And that sudden death situation we were begging for, it looks like it could not happen, because now with the armor and the 102 health in play, you know, he's looking quite good, and he's only got 12 seconds left. He knows exactly where he is, but I think he got a nice rocket hit, and I think he's going to get finished off barely. Oh
my God.
It looks like we will see that
tied it
death.
up at the last possible second. Prox1mo just rushes his opponent, and that all happened because Karwik sort of, he must have lagged or something, but he was looking at a wall as he chucked his dire orb. It literally went in his face because he was right next to it, and I don't know, maybe he just gave up at that moment. Maybe he just thought,
maybe, but all I know is that he had
dire.
3 seconds remaining going into that sudden death. And it looks like the magic happened, and of course they went into sudden death, so it looks like we could potentially see another 10-minute fiasco with Prox1mo and Karwik. But it looks like at the moment they're playing a lot of a stalemate situation, but there seems to be a lot more what's the word of it? They seem a lot more risky now compared to the first match. So I don't think this sudden left will be too long. But it looks like he's trying to get the armor. But he's baiting it at the moment. But it looks like now, with his scale bearer, Karwik made the right decision to back off and just let him have it and go to the weaker side of the map. Yeah,
I feel scale bearer at this point was probably not the right pick. It's harder to get out of situations with scale bearer on this map. I mean, if the long range damage hits and he's stuck in a very weak side of the map, he's going to try and charge it. Again, he has to be careful though. The LG coming out, the 7 cannon. This is surely going to be it for Prox1mo.
Yeah,
it is.
As soon as he dropped down, he didn't have the speed or pace or anything. And getting LG like that against the wall, there was absolutely no way he was going to get away from that. So, yeah, it looks like his scale bearer is not really doing too well for him at the moment for the first
It was so rushed. I think Mega was coming up. He won the Mega over with the actual charge. I think he could have just waited. You know, there was no way that Prox1mo was going to take any risks there. And so that's why he fell back as soon as he heard the charge. It was so unfortunate to just throw it away like that and drop down and try and get the frag. It was a waste. They put so much effort into this game, Karwik, and then maybe the frustrations of the lag problems and, you know, just having these awful coin flip moments.
I think it did come to one of those situations where a lot of them were coin flip. And it's a shame really, because when you do see a lot of coin flip moments, you do wish that they had like more of like a best of 5, best of 7 situation where things could have planned out a little bit differently. Like I reckon that Karwik might not have chosen scale bearer maybe not as often on certain maps, because that kind of like affected him quite a bit in some of the matchups. Not just matchups in champions, but also on the map themselves.
But hats off to Prox1mo, man. You know, he was 2-1 down on the first map, manages to pull it back up, and looks incredibly strong on Ruins. I mean, it's just that last second save, man. Like, I can't believe it. It was Karwik's round. He was waiting patiently, and then it just all came to a horrifying end. And the rail, as he was falling, so clutch. But I think this was it. This is pushes with the LG. He just needs to get out of this, and bam!
And it's a sad day, really, because, like, you know, Prox1mo, we can't put it past him. His Nyx was really good. He got away so closely. 18 HP, 3 HP. You know, he got bulldozed into him after all that as well, and managed to ghost walk at the split moment every time. Yep. But that was our final series of the night, sadly. So, you know, I think that's probably why we were hoping for our
I think every other match
situation.
Every other match would probably finish because of how long that one went on. That's probably the case there.
Yeah,
just like
Karwik, Prox1mo, you're to blame. So, you know, just letting you know.
It was still a great series. I mean, it's a shame, like, again, for Karwik with the lag issues and sort of. He gave us such a wonderful game in that he wasn't able to take down another map, and we could have an extra map, because it would have been epic. I would have loved to be here for 2 AM because these guys would have taken it all the way if that was the case.
This is it. Well, I think me and you are the sort of guys where we're more than happy to stay till 2 AM. But finally, that is the end of the stream, I'm afraid. The end of the night for the qualifiers. So we've got the top 16 which have made it through today, and then you'll see them again on Sunday for the top 8 to determine which are going to qualify for the regionals. So until then, we'll see you soon.